All right. We have a couple 2-0s. Brendan and John there in the back. I'm not sure what John's on. Coleman, you asked about, which I typed in chat, but I don't know if you saw it. Where do we find the deck list? Usually just like if something has a 5-0 or if it like did well in a challenge, you know, and we try to take more fringe decks or maybe decks that like haven't been popular in a while. And if they have a good appearance somewhere, you know, then we try to talk about it and test them against some of the other like more current meta decks. That's the idea of it anyways. I wonder what John's on. Start the timer. Rhinos? Oh yeah, I think he said he was gonna play Rhinos. Is this 4-color or Temur though? He came and asked if he could borrow my violent outbursts, and then he gave them back to me. All right. John cast a dead on the DRC, plays a catch your triumph turn 2 and passes. And then on his turn 2 is gonna fetch Basic Island.
We have 3 Rhinos players in the room today.
It's pretty cringe. Ooh, Brendan, a little risky. Gonna dash the Ragavan, finds a Bone Crusher. Not gonna cast it, gets a treasure. John passing with an ominous 3 mana up. Why does the BRB music slap so hard? I don't know, man. I just found some random non-copyright beat thing on YouTube, so.
Okay, I was squatting in the gym the other day and I had it on and you guys had that music and it started hitting. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, this is hitting.
So Brendan dashes the Ragavan. John Brazen borrows Petty Thefts. John Petty Thefts it, and then Brendan gets to replay it in the second main phase. John has Fury in hand, Fire Ice.
I mean,
Just gonna go for the Shardless Agent. Let's see if Brendan has the Spears. Only a true Murktide player would have the Spears here.
yeah.
He does. What a gamer.
He's got an ugly Spell Pierce, but he has a Spell Pierce.
He's had some clutch Spell Pierces. He's gonna have to keep that up if he wants to be a real Murktide player.
The other thing is, Shardless Agent weirdly just like blocks his Ragavan.
Oh yeah, that is
Like it just trades him out.
Yeah.
So if Brendan really wants it to hit, he's gonna have to remove it. But he's gonna start off an expressive iteration.
See you coming. Thanks for hanging out. Find an answer for Shardless Agent. At least one that he's willing to cast right now. He's got land drops, but he also found the Spire Bluff Canal. Gonna go ahead and bolt it.
I might be tripping. Does John have a Becomaments in his hand? What is that?
I kind of thought that's maybe what that was. I wasn't sure.
Can you look it up on Scryfall? I'm actually.
So like because yeah, didn't they make an old art for it? I'm pretty sure I've seen some Rhinos players doing that.
Yeah, that's what that is. What?
This one?
I'm almost
Yeah.
positive that that's what that is.
I think I've seen that, like Rhinos players doing that.
I mean, that's like kind of cool, if you want my opinion.
Yeah.
Honestly, because it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna block the 2/2, and then you just get bonked for it.
Yeah.
But also, what?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sold. All right, Brendan slams the Murktide here after getting his Ragavan fired. It's gonna be a 6/6 Murktide for now. John's got Brazen Borrower, which is pretty brutal for this Murktide, unless Brendan has Counterspell here.
Well, John also has a Force in hand, but I don't know if he had another blue card back. No, he doesn't. So the Force was dead.
Looks like Brendan's flooding out. Does have another Rag.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about flooding when you play cards off your opponent's deck.
It's
like
an
that.
Outburst. Just cast it.
What you gonna do? Hit a counter spell?
That'd be so gross. Just cast it, man. You got a high roll.
You know you want to put a shredder in the play off this violent
Hit a
outburst.
shredder, hit an iteration. Just high roll it, man. Got nothing else to do with.
You literally have
6
nothing
mana
else
this
to do.
turn, right? Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, there it goes.
Oh
see?
my gosh!
Look, and
What a-
at 3 mana, expressive iteration is still cracked.
What a 3 mana iteration.
I think I'm actually just more upset that it was the first card he hit.
Yeah, it was just the first card.
Like,
Couldn't have even hit like a land or like a Murktide, and then
yeah, just like something uncastable at
Like-
first. It just had to be the card.
gonna exile a Bolt. Send that one off at the dome. And play a Tarn. I think he's. Oh, I was gonna say I think he's holding up Brazen Borrower mana, but he is fetching right now. Petty Theft mana, I should say. Gonna shock too. Might not have had any more islands. And just passes.
Let's get another island in hand. He should have 3.
Ragavan goes back to hand. That was a pretty crazy turn of events, though. Just dash Ragavan, it connects, hit Violent Outburst, cast Violent Outburst, hit Iteration.
That's all I'm saying, man. Playing cards off your opponent's deck is just as good as playing off of yours.
Well, it's especially good when your opponent's playing good cards in their deck.
True.
Which, I don't know, Violent Outburst is really like a good card when you're.
Probably not a good hit, to be honest.
Yeah, but paid off. You hit Iteration instead of hitting Counterspell. Here's another Iteration.
John lets it go.
Yeah, he does have 2 Force of Negations over there, but he's just letting the Iteration go. I don't know. I don't think I would have been patient enough to let that go, honestly. But, yeah, he doesn't have Outburst either. Probably just going to flash in Brazen Borrower. Brendan's going to dash the Ragavan, get in, hits the land this time. John down to 7?
Can you become immense your opponent's creatures?
You sure can.
Dude, this Ragavan's about to hit John for 8.
You're going to flip it off the top?
Man, what a hit that would have been. Like,
I
say
mean-
Rag had first strike and then something else was behind. It's just like,
That would be pretty crazy, but yeah, doesn't work the way we think it would or want it to.
let's
I
just
guess.
fake the moment for TikTok.
All right, here's that.
Just kidding.
Murktide.
Nothing we ever do is fake on TikTok. We would never.
Exactly. Here's that Murktide. How many counters this time? 4. Brendan.
This is the other reason I was a little confused on holding the Force of Negation. Is it can't counter the Murktide that you know about.
Yeah.
All right, play Fury and we die.
Just gonna pass.
Or hold up counterspell and or force and brazen bar. We're number 2.
Getting in there with the brazen bar. Probably was hoping Brendan would block and then he could fury it. Brendan is deciding to block. No, just gonna take 3. Just main phasing the other one. Doesn't want it to get countered, I guess.
Which one you like more? Okay.
Alright, has Unholy Heat, but John has Force of Negation, has to pitch his other Force of Negation just to stay alive here. Brendan gonna crack this islet, see if he can find lethal this turn. Has so much mana. Get in with Ragavan and Murktide. Has to block Murktide unless he's got something. Block Murktide. Become immense. Become immense on the Brazen Bar. We're to trade with Murktide here. Oh, Brendan has Spell Pierce. That's brutal. So Brazen Bar was just gonna chump, Ragavan trigger, get another treasure, Ragavan back to hand. Spell Pierce on the Become Immense to keep your Murktide alive. Gross. And John's down to 5 now. Fury. Still unable to kill the Murktide. John's definitely in defense mode. Brendan can maybe close the game out right here.
Well, there's a bolt.
Yep, there's a bolt. So that will be the game. Bolt Brazen Bar where John picks him up. Well, I definitely think the turning point of that game was casting the Violent Outburst and hitting Iteration, because Brendan was pretty much out of gas until that happened.
Probably need to add more badges.
Yeah, I was gonna add a foil one, like rainbow foil for 2 years, because I think I'm at 2 years now.
Oh yeah, give yourself something fancy, King. I can't believe there's gonna be 2 more of you running around. Because you're also having another kid.
Yep. All right, John with turn 1, suspend Rhinos over to Brendan's way. Looks like he's fetch shocking. Probably slamming a threat.
Would you say Ragvan's good slam here?
I would say it's the best one. Name a better play in Magic than turn 1 Ragavan.
You got me, man. Like, what do you want?
I'll tell you. Turn 1, Prismatic Ending, target your Ragavan.
That's the best probably counterplay.
Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. Turn 1 Grazer, now you're thinking.
Actually, that might be the best
That's
play.
the sauce right there. All right, Ragavan does connect. That's going to ramp Brendan up, get a treasure token. This is where it just feels so hard, man. If that Ragavan is connecting, that means you don't have a removal spell right now. So you have to draw one, or you got to draw some way to block. And at this point, Brendan is probably just holding up. I mean, he's holding up extra mana. He's holding up all of the cards in his hand. He just doesn't have to do anything until you do. He can Also, if the Ragman connects one or two more times, he can just continue to deploy threats and still hold up counter magic. He's just so far ahead on mana. And John is gonna go for it now that I think he saw Brendan get tap land and decides to go for it. Brendan does have counterspell. And it's Fluster. He's gonna go for the Fluster. Did he let John cascade first? I think I'm gonna assume that he said cascade triggers good, and then I'm gonna Fluster your Crashing Footfalls, but just word of the wise, if you're not at a regular REL tournament and you're at a comp REL tournament, I would not do that.
Yeah, you do that. That means you counter violent outburst. I'm going to cascade after.
Yeah. Means, okay, target.
I tell you what Damien did when playtesting. He's like, oh, I have an unbeatable hand. You literally can't beat me. And I said, all right, man, cool. You know, whatever. He's just like talking smack. Because it's like, I beat him 4 games in a row. And I'm like, on your end step, I'm a violent outburst. He's like, see? And he snapped off a counter spell. And I'm like,
okay,
you're countering violent outburst? And he goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay. And I put it in my graveyard. I'm like, cascade? And he goes, whatever. And he just picks up his cards. Like, because I even asked him, I was like, so you're countering this? And he goes, yes, sir.
Turn 1 Young Wolf. Turn 1 Young Wolf's not even the best play in Yawgmoth.
That might just be true.
All right, Brendan makes a 5/5 Murktide. Going to John's turn, he's going to slam a Shardless Agent. See if Brendan has another counter. Finds Footfalls. Brendan got it? Nope. Gonna look at the exiled cards from the Cascade.
Brennan's not looking at those at all. He's just paying him Zach like he is. He's like, there's like 1 force in there, I think.
That is, yeah, it has counterspell. That is a big thing you can do when you're, playing against Cascade decks. Just keep track of like how many, force mitigations they've played, and then how many like are getting shuffled back in here.
Yeah, that's like the main thing you look for.
Yeah, that's probably the main one. Maybe like, I don't know, Footfalls or something, or like maybe Endurances could be another one, but it is something that is worth paying attention to.
So, Murktide at this point right now is Furiable, though.
It's a 5/5.
Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
I always think it's a 2/2.
Yeah. 3/3.
And then, like, the counters go on.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Modern's hard.
3/3 with 2 counters. The DRC and the Ragman are pretty juicy.
Yeah, those can die. That's what I meant to say. You're right. Good job, Taryn.
Oh wait. Oh, that was the Footfalls coming off suspend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that resolved.
John basically forced him to counter the other ones so that when this one came off suspend, it would pretty much be scot free.
John's gonna Endurance target his own grave here.
Yeah, you got 3 Footfalls in there. You probably got to put them back.
And that was in John's main phase. Didn't want to risk Endurance getting countered. Sorry, I just realized I did not have the right match selected when I was trying to do life totals. I'll try to fix those now. We got 15-10.
All out attack from John. And there's a Fury in hand. Mystical Dispute and a Fire and Ice. So John's going to be able to Fury the rest of this. And a bone crusher, I guess, too.
Brendan's under a lot of pressure here. Gets put down to 5. Wonder if. Okay, deal 1 to both. Brendan has no response. That's brutal. I don't think you fetch. Don't want to put yourself to 4. Bobble. That's probably not going to be good enough. Probably needed to hit like iteration there. Pass, draw, and upkeep. Maybe block one thing and kill one thing. Does have Odawara. That can't be countered.
Well.
Oh no, I didn't do the title. My bad. Sorry. Stream title was wrong. It is round 3. Okay. Stomp will finish off the Murktide, and that gets 1 more point of damage to it, right? Or
depends when you did it. Yeah. So he must have did it
after
combat. Yeah. So if he would have Bone Crushed Giant there before, because Rhinos had his trample.
It would have got 1 extra point through, which would have put him at 2, which would make him dead this turn.
Yeah.
That's pretty relevant. Still, Brendan's still really far behind here, but he's gonna scoop him up. The only thing in Magic that's 100% is cascading into those Rhinos.
That's not true. I've seen a lot of people think Veil of Summer is cool in Rhinos.
I saw someone get spell pierced against Rhinos. Chris Hafner tweeted about it.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody bought his collection.
I would need therapy.
Yeah, if somebody was just like, can you imagine cast something to like Violent Outburst, spell pierce you?
Yeah, insane.
I'm either putting in 8 power, or I'm spell piercing your spell.
Turn 1 rag plus bobble. You know what card I haven't seen from Brendan at all this whole tournament? Ledger Shredder. But he's playing them, right? Isn't he playing them?
I thought he was. Playing like 3, I think. Like maybe
everyone,
4.
I mean, everyone's playing 3 at least. Pretty much.
He cut him.
I would not cut them in this matchup. I like them a lot in this matchup.
No, I mean, you just cut him from the deck. Said it sucked. Why would I want to draw more cards? What do you mean?
What card? Ledger Shredder. I was just commenting. I haven't seen Brendan cast one, I don't think. And because we watched him for 2 matches now, right? Yeah. I haven't even seen it like in his hand or anything. I don't think. I could be wrong.
I don't think there's like no way that he plays them.
If we haven't seen him, there's no way. I mean,
there is a way.
It's possible. But
it's just like we've gone to the top like 20 in every game we've watched him play, and for one to not be in the top 20 if he's playing 3 or 4, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, very.
Unless they're just super glued together somewhere.
Like 3 Shredder is like pretty stock.
You figured out Murktide. He's cut him. He knows what to do.
Brendan does get this, pretty insane start of turn 1 Ragman and then connect with it. Difference is he's on the play this time.
Probably gonna see a pass, fire, and then, well, you might see it here, but he has force negation to back it up on Brendan's turn anyway, right. So he might just wait.
Like upkeep, do it, and hold up force. I'm not gonna let him draw. Oh, okay. Maybe I was gonna say like upkeep, but let Brendan go.
Well, letting Brendan draw will actually get John blown out here, because Brendan did draw a spell pierce.
Yeah.
So if he has land, well, he has treasure.
Yeah, he has 3.
So like now he's definitely gonna get blown out.
Yep.
Because he's going to probably fire this. Brendan doesn't want to let it go. Gonna get spell pierced. Possible he fights over with force. How confident was it?
He's actually just gonna let that go. Maybe he just is like sitting on another Ragavan, just doesn't care.
Spell pierce is exile. Temur, go. I ain't letting him cheat out of Murktide for free. Sometimes you can be like, it won't matter that much. This time, that puts a counter on Murktide, and I'm not a fan.
And, you know, makes it easier for DRC to have Delirium, stuff like that.
And this is why you let it go.
Yeah, doesn't want to... Yeah, let John just untap and slam some Rhinos here, so... Pretty smart. Still gets to have a threat in play and take care of those Rhinos. Gonna surveil that heat to the grave. I think Brennan's down to 1 card in hand already. And it's a Brazen Borrower. So basically 2 cards.
That's actually kind of crazy. It's not very often you see Murktide just like empty-handed.
Yeah, they usually are just like, well, I still have this iteration I'm going to cast or something.
Borrower and land, it looks like. Steam Vent specifically. Fury, Pitch, Fury. I think John drew a third one, so he feels comfortable enough doing this. Can't do that.
Yeah, Borrower's opponents. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The reason I said it like that was to alarm you that he can't do what he just did to get going.
Yeah.
Or,
I was gonna go tell him, but
you could go drop kick your nephew. That'd been sick.
I'm a little surprised Brennan just held that other land in his hand.
Two. Can you imagine how upsetting it's got to be to like get hit with a Shardless Agent when your only answer is Brazen Borrower, and you know if you bounce it, they're gonna cascade.
Why isn't he casting Borrower?
Yeah, I was a little confused that, especially since you already accidentally revealed the card.
Yeah, you're not
like, you're gonna bounce a Rhino and still have to deal with the other one where like the other one's a flying threat. You could have hit him, he'd be down to 9.
Yeah.
And then you can just tank a hit from everything and then potentially just kill him. You do have bolts in your deck.
Yeah, I really like just casting the 3/1 there, but because you got to try to race a possible violent outburst.
Different art spell pierces that I vote that Brennan automatically loses.
Brennan does have spell pierce for that crashing footfalls.
He has borderless spell pierce and not borderless spell pierce because he woke up feeling like a monster.
He Brennan absolutely loves doing that too. It's so funny.
So John can actually just return to Murktide. Murktide back. Get smacks for 2. Unholy Heat. Murktide again. Tapped out.
Only gets 1 counter. Still pretty big. 4/4 flyer.
Well, you know it dies to Fury now.
That's true. John is holding the Fury, but
Swing Stiffy block so you can Bone Crush Giant instead, but I think it's also possible John just lets it go for a turn. Because Brennan's down to 8. And he just decides to Bone Crusher him later, especially like if a Ragavan gets dashed or something. Also, as Grug pointed out, Brennan could have heated the threat and then put another counter there.
Oh, I didn't realize he had heat.
Which would have put it out of range of a Fury.
Okay, now we're gonna see the borrower come in. Can it race the shardless agent when he's at 5 now? Anything spicy? Yeah, the list that Donnie is on is really cool.
Power conduit.
Here's an endurance. Gonna get it in there while Brendan is down to 1 mana.
And that's
Card in hand.
unless Brendan, which Brendan has Unholy Heat. The borrower can't block either of these.
Right. So, oh, he didn't attack. Got to attack there.
Yeah, especially if you just know it can't block. Like there's just no reason to not attack.
Cannot get enough colors on engineered explosives. So not attacking didn't matter, but good game. Brendan was down to 2 there, by the way. I didn't update the life total, but he took a hit from endurance, so he was down to 2.
But yeah, as Grog pointed out, Brendan actually missed the chance to make sure that his creature.
Oh, I'm stupid. Endurance is a 3/4 sitting there with reach. Yeah, duh.
Oh, I mean.
Yeah, I forgot endurance.
Either way,
sitting there
like your brazen bar was not doing anything. I think.
Well, if you just attack, I mean, you just lose it.
And then you can remove it and leave the 2/2 behind. If your Unholy Heat didn't have. If you didn't have Delirium, you could Unholy Heat the 3/4 and take 2 hits from the other creature.
Yeah, maybe that would have been a fine line. All right, though. Johnny, gonna take it down 2-1.